Ahoy, this is Admiral. Welcome to my video. Today we're going to talk about the Ratha, or Wrath, the unique unit of the Bengalis from the dynasty of India, and its secret characteristic, which, despite having existed for almost 2 years, almost no one is aware of. Now, most of you already know that the Wrath's defining trait is its ability to switch between a ranged and a melee mode, giving it unusual flavor and flexibility in combat. Longtime AoE 2 enthusiasts may also know that this was a feature originally considered for the samurai, as well as a Persian multi-purpose cavalry unit in the original Age of Kings, although this was never implemented. The Wrath has been improved with a few updates since release, including +2 bonus damage against skirmishers, and trample damage in melee mode, although the ability we're going to talk about has existed since day one and as a consequence of its main ability. To set the stage, we're going to look at what happens when this Persian Savar is converted by a Bulgarian monk, with both civilizations in post-imperial age. I have the extended unit stats toggled. Pay close attention to what happens to those stats, and especially to the attack reload time when this unit is converted. There! Did you notice it? Neither did I. Everything is exactly the same. But let's try the same thing with this Elite Wrath. Again, pay close attention to the unit stats. Still nothing? Let's just press the refresh button here. There we go. We now have an adopted Bulgarian Wrath that benefits from all the applicable bonuses and technologies available to the Bulgarians, notably the Stirrups technology, which allows melee cavalry units to attack 33% faster. This explains how the melee Wrath now has an attack rate of 1.5 instead of the 1.67 of the Bengali Wrath. However, there are a few provisos, a couple of quid pro quos. The extra attack speed has come at the cost of some armor, as the Bulgarian Wrath has lost the benefit of all technologies that were available to the original owners, the Bengalis, but not to the Bulgarians. As we've observed with the Savar, enemy units that are converted to your civilization don't benefit from the bonuses or upgrades of your civilization, and remain perpetually frozen with whatever upgrades they had at the moment immediately before conversion, even being unable to benefit from technologies you research after converting. However, the Wrath's mechanic of switching weapons, or more comprehensively, switching units, has the same effect as if that unit were created fresh in that instant, updating it with whatever bonuses and technologies apply to your civilization at that moment, and removing any that don't. The same is true of a couple other units that employ a transformation mechanic, such as villagers when they change jobs. And you may have noticed that enhanced Spanish, Inca, or Bohemian villagers that you convert will quickly lose their gains and go soft once you stack a midlife career change on top of the faith crisis they've just experienced. Trebuchets are another unit that employs a transformation mechanic when they pack or unpack. But neither of those are very exciting, given that every civilization can train villagers and trebuchets. Unlike with Wraths, you're not getting anything from converting the villagers or trebuchets of another civilization that you couldn't have just gotten more conveniently by training those units yourself. Obviously, you would have to convert quite a few Wraths for your civilization's bonuses to have much of an impact on a game, and most of us would struggle to pull off such a Viper-esque masterpiece. But just for fun, we're going to look at civilizations with unique bonuses or technologies that can affect their converted Wraths, and I made a list you probably thought you'd never see, and that wouldn't have made much sense before you started watching this video. A list of my top 10 Wrath civilizations, obviously apart from Bengalis. Now, keep in mind that for every civilization except Bengalis, transforming a converted Wrath will result in the loss of the 20% attack speed for both modes provided by the Pipes technology, as well as the civ bonus of +2 damage against skirmishers for the melee mode. Considering that Bengalis lack Thumb Ring, however, any civilization that gets it can make up for most of the lost fire rate in ranged mode, as well as receiving an accuracy upgrade to 100%, where the Bengali Wrath is capped at 90%. And for some civilizations with no applicable bonuses, and that miss a lot of relevant technologies like Aztecs, you may want to avoid mode switching at all, as it will result in a significantly downgraded unit. Let's see if we can find more examples that, like the Bulgarians, at least provide some situational net improvements for either the melee, ranged, or both modes. Starting off with 10th place, we encounter the Malians, featuring extra melee attack thanks to the Farimba technology, although with the less impressive showing on the ranged mode due to missing Bracer and less armor than the Bengali Wrath due to lacking Parthian tactics. In ninth place come the Sicilians, whose Wraths take 33% less bonus damage, allowing them to take more hits from Camel and Spearman mindfulness than Bengali Wraths, on top of being harder to convert after First Crusade. However, they are significantly worse against ranged units, including elite skirmishers, due to their lack of both Parthian tactics and ring archer armor. Eighth place, strangely enough, goes to the Dravidians, who, despite lacking important technologies for the speed and longevity of their cavalry, nevertheless get high marks for range and damage output, and in melee mode can slash through the armor of anything that gets close, thanks to Boot Steel. In seventh place, we find the Saracens, the only fully generic Wraths on the list, who benefit from no bonuses, but who do have every relevant non-unique technology that could possibly benefit both the ranged and the melee modes. Sixth place goes to the Bulgarian Wraths we first discussed, who have full upgrades except for ring armor, and a melee attack rate almost to rival that of the Samurai, on top of benefiting from cheaper and faster blacksmith upgrades. And in fifth place, the Japanese Wrath, who until recently were in the same position as the Saracens, thanks to their relatively new bonus, now deal +2 damage against enemy archers, making them very well equipped to fend off any attempted Mongol invasions of their adopted homeland. Speaking of Mongols, their Wraths take fourth place, despite missing ring armor, for the fastest ranged attack, able to keep up with even Dravidian elephant archers shot for shot. Before we move to the top 3, we'll roll through several less than honorable mentions that may be more entertaining than useful. First off is Koreans, where the possible benefit is purely a time-dependent one, based on their bonus of receiving archer armor technologies for free. On the off chance that you convert a Wrath with few or no upgrades, especially if it is lacking bloodlines, you can at least cash in on your free armor. It's a similar but better case for Persians, where early access to Parthian tactics can grant you the most heavily armored converted Wraths in Castle Age, although you lose this relative advantage along with Bracer by Imperial Age. Moving on to less time-dependent effects, Teuton Wraths double down on their new religion by becoming harder to convert back due to the civilization's team bonus, but are otherwise slow and unimpressive, especially in ranged form. What about the Franks with their bonus of 20% extra hit points for cavalry units? This bonus nets them not 1, not 2, but 3 whole hit points above that of a Bengali elite Wrath, at the cost of almost everything you might want for a cavalry archer. Burmese elite Wraths are drawn by the mighty Manipur cavalry, which makes their melee mode extra strong against archers, except that their lack of armor makes them extra weak against archers. And finally, Cumans, whose 5% speed boost makes them good at running away from enemies who don't suffer from a lack of Bracer as they do. Although, to be fair, at least their melee mode gets all the upgrades. Now we come down to the final 3, where the competition is fierce as all of them have full upgrades on top of other significant bonuses or technologies. In third place are the tanky Turks, with their robust Wraths gaining 20 hit points from the Sipahi technology. In second, the terrifying Tatars, with strong silk armor, 20/20 vision, and a greater ability to end fights once they've attained the high ground, as well as free thumbling and Parthian tactics. And in first place, the Magyars, whose recurve bow-wielding Wraths simply outrange the competition, and who can deal high damage from behind the frontline support of powerful Magyar cavalry. Now, is this knowledge going to win you any games, or make you want to pick Magyard in a match against Bengalis? Perhaps not, although you may occasionally get some benefit, or use it to flex on an enemy from a winning position, as one might do with Sholot warriors. Perhaps if you enjoy games against the AI, you might use this information to farm Wraths from a Bengali bot, in order to have them benefit from the bonus of your choice, and form an eccentric army of these extraordinary elites, and make your enemies face the wrath of Khan. As someone who likes to explore the game's mechanics and envision one civilization's unit benefiting from another civilization's bonus, I for one was quite pleased to find at least this one instance, aside from team units, where this can actually happen in a normal game. Anyway, I hope you found this esoteric bit of trivia illuminating. If you liked this video, you can show me by leaving a like. If you have different ideas about who you think the top Wrath civilizations are, we can talk about it in the comments, and you can
I just
subscribe for
got
more
so
content.
satisfaction.
This has been me revealing a rare reaction to the Wrath's reassignment of religion. Till next time.